Let's continue talking about the process of moving from your beloved home. This is the second part of Transition from Beloved Home. I'm Penelope Tzougros, PhD, CHFC, CLU, financial planner, and author of Your Home Sweet Home, How to Decide Whether You Should Stay or Move in Retirement. Many of you have been following the videos on Your Home Sweet Home channel, which provide key ideas from the book. Thanks for subscribing. That helps YouTube know that you think others may be interested in the same content. Subscribing functions like a review for a book in Amazon or something like that. So we thank you very much for subscribing and listening. However, these transition videos are more personal because I'm sharing my journey from a big Queen Anne style Victorian that I loved and enjoyed for 40 years. And I did not expect to leave my home. I loved the life it allowed me to create. A long time ago, clients started asking me about what did I know about retirement communities. I realized that I must research more to provide more comprehensive guidance to clients. So the book got born. Little did I know that my own book was going to help me, and it sure has. The last video took us up to the discussion about money. Money invested well and used well are goals for many of us. As a financial planner, I have reviewed portfolios, hundreds of them, for people, and I've found that there could be improvements, that the money was not working for their purposes at that time of life. So things can generally have better outcomes. I'm happy to talk with you about that another time, but right now I'm just talking about my own journey. Penelope, who had to deal with the significant choice, do I stay or do I go? How do I make either one of those make sense for the next phase of my life? Evaluating your money for this purpose requires that you be accurate. What are all the expenses? What can your portfolio do for you? You must have detailed lists of expenses written down for your home expenses, your personal lifestyle expenses. Yes, the book has templates for those. And yes, I followed my own advice and filled them out, and I found that it was very straightforward. You have to include the hot water heater that's going to break down and have to be replaced, the snow removal, the bug care, all of those things. I counted for everything in my lifestyle because even if I move someplace else, I'm still going to have haircuts, gift stamps, things that require the way I want to live. But the house costs could be higher. Yeah, they could be lower, it doesn't matter. But what we need to know is we're working with facts, not fantasy. Okay. At that point, I was very clear about how much money I needed to spend. Did I have enough money? How long would my money last? How much more could I spend and probably not outlive my money? My calculations could be more accurate if I knew my expiration date, but of course I don't, and I don't want to know. I'm grateful that I do have the mindset that 95 is the age I use for clients as well as for me. It's on an actuary table because obviously no matter what an actuary says, you're a person, you don't know about your length of life. And then what if inflation stays high? What if my investments don't perform well? Well, what if my health fails? I'm fine now. The same questions I would discuss with you if you were sitting in my office. And yes, the doctor was doctoring herself. Yeah, I projected under a few different scenarios what inflation might be, what the range of taxes might be, the historic view of the types of investments I have, what they might provide. So then the next test is reality, selling the house. Still a painful idea. But if I were to decide to sell, what would it sell for? What would I clear after realtor, moving, taxes, other expenses? Well, friends of mine who were most conscious of the market started explaining to me that the house area, well, prices were going up. And I thought, well, that's kind of nice. And it was sort of my same reaction in the first video when I was told the arsonist was no longer around. Yeah, well, that's nice. That's better than worse. Okay. So the neighborhood had gotten safer and more attractive because houses were bought, they were cleaned up, they were fixed. Nice, nice. Yes, prices were rising. Okay, but what would I get for my house? Selling websites that estimate house values, it's not the same as a willing buyer with a checkbook. So, it's scary to invite real estate agents to view the house because that would mean selling the house was real. I guess the process of earning my PhD turned my very red blood cells into researchers. Researching rigorously has been the way I've handled financial plans and how I'm approaching this. So, what do I need to do? I need to get real information. Discussion and visits from real estate agents started. One explained she would not be interested in working with me because the house didn't have central air conditioning. Well, I explained it's an old house. It's got 10-foot ceilings. The cross ventilation is amazing. The house did not need central AC. When you walked into it in the hottest days of the summer, it was cool. Her customers were not interested. Okay, I was surprised, but you know what it made me think? Maybe I won't find a buyer. Maybe she's right. Agents did their work. They provided comparisons, suggested asking prices, gave advice about what to fix up, what to worry about. The selling prices were sort of in a range that made sense. Okay, but then if I sold this beautiful house, where would I live? More research. Yes, but I already wrote the book on the many types of housing that were available. Some options: a small ranch house, a houseboat, cluster housing, co-housing, a unit in what's called a village community, shared housing, life path communities, over 55 communities, retirement communities, lots of choices. But what did I really want and need for me? What does a new home have to provide so I can make the best of the coming years? Much as I love this house, it is expensive to maintain. Selling it would give me more money to spend on what I enjoy more than I enjoy finding a plumber, a painter, a window washer. As much as I love being here, the house takes mental energy, what I call mind share. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about what needs to be done next to keep the house properly maintained. The house has a positive emotional pull on me. That's why I love it so much. But when it pulls mind share, those worries keep me up at night. Those are the chores. I feel kind of liberation thinking about moving and not having them. Simplify. Simplify. That word resonates now more than when I first read Henry David Thoreau's Walden. So, what are the criteria for another home? Well, it's to simplify my life. A smaller space, not 3,500 square feet. Less gardening, less landscaping. It needs to be a space for big dinner parties, for lots of natural light pouring in, just like these big, drafty, beautifully crafted windows. Space for all my books. Step by step, I clarified what I needed. Yes, easy parking, close to doctor, dentist, vet care, church, theater, highway access. Practical things, in addition to the spiritual, emotional needs. Now, I have a list and I'm constructing a way to live. I started visiting places that my list said, impossible. Lots of visits, more research, more places, get on the list, get off the list. The house sells. The movers do a good job, and now the pups and I live in a retirement community. It's a small cottage. The people around us are fun and interesting and good neighbors. As soon as most of the boxes were out of the living room, and there's still a huge number in the garage and much more to go through, well, I started having dinner parties for all the cottagers. As I listen to their laughter and chatter and learn about their lives, I stand there smiling in my kitchen, and I say, I've come home. It is a new, very wonderful time in my life. It took effort, plan, many decisions, but I'm thoroughly peaceful, energized, and having fun. If this has helped you in some way, I'm grateful. If not, and you have questions, please ask by phone 781-577-2311 or email Penelope@Wealthy Choices. I wish you delightful days.